and welcome to this edition of Chesapeake Weekly. What an exciting week for our city. Governor Ralph Northam was in the area on Tuesday to make a very big announcement. Amazon is coming to Chesapeake.
Amazon will establish a new 650,000 square foot processing center in Chesapeake, which will house 500 new jobs. Amazon also will build a multi-story robotics fulfillment center in Suffolk, which will employ 1,000 new workers.
But we couldn't have done this without strong partnership, collaboration, and support from the Commonwealth, our regional and local leaders, and diligent work from economic development and our community and business leaders. And the operations in Suffolk and Chesapeake are both the first of their kind for the Commonwealth, and they're going to have state-of-the-art technology. The new 650 square foot operations facility in Chesapeake will power the first step in Amazon's fulfillment network. At this facility, more than 500 full-time associates will process bulk goods that come in and break them down into smaller orders so that those get spread out across the broader fulfillment network.
We're so thankful to Amazon for being here, for choosing Virginia, for choosing Chesapeake and Suffolk, and for creating so many jobs, because that's what it's about to us on the state level, regional level, and local level.
Another new business coming to Chesapeake is Oregon-based Total Fiber Recovery. This paper recycling company will invest $49 million and will create dozens of new jobs here in our city. It will not only add to our local economy, but its mission of recycling will fit right in with our community.
The interesting thing about Total Fiber Recovery is that they are going to utilize some of the waste that currently has no market right now. Today, our good friends at TFC, they pick up your recycling. There are a lot of things in that recycling bin that cannot be recycled. For instance, a lot of the mixed paper really just ends up being burned or going to the landfill. But with this new company, TFR, they're going to take that property and they're going to turn it into a paper pulp mixture, and there is a tremendous market for that product both here in the United States and abroad. So it's a new business. It's taking some of the waste that we already have, but it's putting it into new markets.
TFR plans to open in 2021 to begin the process of over 300,000 tons of mixed paper per year. If you want to receive updates about major business happenings in our city, like this one, you should sign up to receive emails from Chesapeake Economic Development. You can do so at chesapeakeva.biz. Construction on the 4Kids Center for Children and Families in South Norfolk continues to hit milestones as it heads towards a 2021 opening. They recently celebrated receiving a grant from the James M Cox Foundation with a beam signing ceremony. Take a look.
Well, we are 15% completed with the project. It is moving really fast, and today we are going to sign one of the beams, one of the last beams going into the building, which will be exposed in the warehouse. And then after that, we're going to have a presentation from Cox, who are supporting the project. Everybody here today, we want them to come over and sign the beam, but we've got a lot of our board, major donors, city council folks. I mean, we have Cox Communication, but I think probably the most important are our kids. Our children from the Chesapeake programs are coming over, and they are going to have construction lessons from some of the main contractors on the project, and then they're going to sign the beam. But we've got council members, donors, a lot of people that have been instrumental in the project.
Okay, well done. Very well done. And you're Chesapeake too?
This is something that we do in the communities that we serve in, and the James M. Cox Foundation is what we use to help us shape the future of the communities that we provide services in. It's how we can stay connected to the communities. We're helping and offering them $250,000 as a base to start that foundation.
And we are so excited. It's going to make a big difference for our kids having digital access.
Actually, another beam in the building.
Yes, an important beam in the building, yes.
The money goes to kind of all the things that helps these families, whether it's in addition to adding new technology to anything that's going to help build the foundation and help lay a foundation for the future, not just for the kids, but for those parents too.
Did you sign the beam?
Absolutely, and I'm proud to sign the beam. Shaking a little bit, it's a little chilly today, but I absolutely put my John Hancock on that beam.
For Kids is a nonprofit agency with a mission of breaking the cycle of homelessness and poverty for families and children. The new Center for Children and Families is being constructed on Poindexter Street in South Norfolk with an anticipated opening of early next year. The second speaker of the Chesapeake Forum took the stage last week. Dr. Mae Jemison, former astronaut and the first woman of color to ever travel into space, delivered an inspiring speech of perseverance and drive. Take a look.
I think you have to have every day be important, right? Because if you don't, in some ways you miss out on part of your life. Now, I know folks wanted me to say it's going into space, right? But even the preparation for it was important. Some of the things that nobody else cares about are important to me. So, when you're finally able to run a bunch of miles and run uphill, right? Nobody else cares about that, but for me, it's an important moment. Or things that have to do with completing a project when you didn't know you were going to do it, or those little things that nobody else cares about sometimes are the biggest things because you have to do them all by yourself. One of the things I think is critically important is that we think about the world as a whole, right? From space, the world as a whole, we know that that's true. So how do we interact? What do we commit to as a society, as people, to make the world better going in the future? I want to talk about science, technology, engineering, but it's not really, those things don't happen by themselves. They happen based on the perspectives, who does them, and the commitment of society.
The forum's first speaker was award-winning journalist Jane Pauley back in January, and the 2020 series will conclude in May with singer Ronan Tynan. Get your tickets now and learn more about the Chesapeake Forum at thechesapeakeforum.org. Environmental minds from around the city gathered last week at the first ever Chesapeake Conservation Conference, sponsored by the Chesapeake Environmental Improvement Council. The conference was an expansion of their annual Environmental Awards Luncheon in an effort to expand education and conversations on all things green.
It's an opportunity for us to bring together the different environmental groups and organizations and folks who care about the city of Chesapeake to basically plan how we're going to try to make Chesapeake a more sustainable and resilient city. I think we've made a lot of progress in getting clean air and clean water in the past 50 years, but we have a tremendous challenge ahead of us. In the city of Chesapeake, our population has tripled since 1970, and with all those more people, we've paved over a lot of our natural areas, and so we have sea level rise concerns coming up. So we really need to work to come up with, change our ways and change how we're approaching what we do and how we work to make ourselves more sustainable. Urban forestry is one area. Trees have so many benefits in so many ways, and we're losing tree canopy, we're losing how many trees we have in the city. And so trying to reverse that and trying to increase trees and trying to get folks to do conservation landscaping so we plant plants, because what people do in their backyards is as important as what we do in our parks and in our protected areas, because we need everybody to pitch in and help make ourselves a better place to live. A lot of it, though, ends up being, reducing our dependence on the automobile. We pave road lanes everywhere, and then I saw a photo the other day, 2/3 of the land in a particular area was nothing but parking lot. And so we put so many thousands of acres into parking lots, and that's all land that's lost from useful economic activity, it's lost from green space, it's lost from residential areas, and so changing how we building to higher density, but having connectivity so folks can walk and bike to where they're going more often and don't have to get in the vehicle will make a big difference.
The Chesapeake Environmental Improvement Council is a mayoral appointed board dedicated to promoting interest in improving the environment. If you're interested, check out their webpage at cityofchesapeake.net/CEIC or find them on Facebook. Representatives from the city and schools continue their long-term planning effort to analyze attendance zones and improve school facilities. A community dialogue meeting is being held this week on March 11th at Deep Creek High School and on March 12th at Oscar Smith High School. They're both from 6 to 8 p.m. and they're the same meeting, so just choose the one that fits best for your schedule. Following the community meetings, there will be an opportunity to take a survey to share your thoughts on the work so far. Once it's available, you'll find a link to that survey at cityofchesapeake.net/CPSfuture. Chesapeake Public Schools will hold their next Community School Safety Forum this week on Wednesday, March 11th. Members of the School Safety Task Force will be at Hickory High School from 5:30 to 7:30 to share their proactive approaches to ensuring the safety of students and staff. They welcome public feedback, so everyone's encouraged to attend. The next forum will be held in April at Indian River High School, so if you can't make this one, there's still another opportunity coming up. Visit cpschools.com for more info. Starting as early as this week, you'll get an invitation in the mail to take the 2020 census. Taking the census is critically important because it determines how much money in federal funding we get here in Chesapeake and how we'll be represented in Congress. For the first time ever, you can take the census online, making it super quick and easy. And remember, your personal information cannot be shared with anybody, not even another government agency. But keep in mind that they will not be asking you anything personal like your social security number, a bank account, political party, or anything like that. It's strictly a count of everyone living in your household to help make sure federal assets are properly allocated. Learn more at 2020census.gov. Chesapeake Animal Services is looking for more volunteers to help them care for the many lovable pets at their shelter who are just waiting on their forever home. To volunteer, you have to be at least 16 years old and you must attend an orientation. The next orientation is Saturday, March 21st at 10 a.m. at Chesapeake Animal Services. You need to fill out the application that is available on their webpage, cityofchesapeake.net/animal services. You can also follow them on Facebook at Chesapeake Animal Services, where you'll get a good glimpse of some of the many animals you'd get to work with. It's Flood Awareness Week here in Virginia, and when you live in a city as low and flat as Chesapeake, you can guarantee you'll have to deal with some kind of flooding at some point. So what can you do to help yourself and your property? Well, knowledge and education is a great first step. Do you know your zone? Do you have flood insurance? Because it's not covered in your regular home insurance. Are your family and your home prepared for weather events? There's a lot you can do while the sky is still blue. Take a look at these resources and use this week to get flood aware. Chesapeake Are You Ready and Chesapeake Integrated Behavioral Health Care are hosting a training for teens and parents about the dangers and concerns surrounding vaping and marijuana on Saturday, March 21st from 10 to 2 at the Conference Center. There will be a panel discussion, vendors, door prizes, and lunch provided. It's a free event appropriate for kids 12 and up with their parents. You must register by March 19th at takeaction2020.eventbrite.com. The monthly Skywatch at Northwest River Park event is coming up on Saturday, March 14th from 5 to 11 p.m. See the stars and learn to use a telescope with the help from the Back Bay astronomers. The event is weather dependent, so call 421-7151 to confirm that it's taking place, just in case the weather looks bad. The Dismal Swamp Stop is coming up next month and registration is now open. The half marathon, 5K, and Kids Cub Run takes runners and walkers down the scenic Dismal Swamp Canal Trail. There will be prize money for the big winners, age group awards, and custom finisher medals. After your run, stick around for live entertainment, barbecue, and local craft brews. Learn more and register for either of the 3 race lengths at cityofchesapeake.net/PRT events. And finally, a quick note for all you library goers. All Chesapeake Public Library locations will be closed on Friday, March 13th for Staff Development Day. While the buildings will be closed, library book drops will remain open, so no excuses for overdue books. You'll also still have access to their many digital options available at infopeak.org. That does it for this edition of Chesapeake Weekly. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.